we keep it curious. Break it down, have some
Really
fun.
funny
We'll
to
build
me,
tough habits
actually.
and live
But
Honestly,
anyway, we'll figure it out.
we will. Hey,
Oh, hey, hello, welcome.
hey,
As they
everybody.
say at Carolina Kitchen, I know we've been through the. I it's someone has something to obviously say over here by squeaking this
Absolutely,
tool. Absolutely. Well,
absolutely.
anyway, welcome back
All lives
to
matter.
the.
Mm,
Welcome back
what a setup.
to yeah, what is what a setup. Uh Seriously Unserious, aka Sus Pod. I'm
Woo!
TJ,
Hi, I'm TP.
and we're back for another week.
We are.
Um,
We are.
just trying to, lighten things up. How was your week? How are you feeling today?
Yeah. LOL. Honestly, I think this week for me has been in this last week has been insane.
hmm
But we know what? I started some new like work, creative work,
Yeah.
that I'm super excited to continue to
G
go
g
into.
are you gonna plug it?
Not quite. It is still
Okay.
almost
Okay.
pluggable.
hmm
But just getting myself back into the swing of being creative, potentially being on a stage for the first time. So,
Yes,
it
you better
feels
be
very good
acting.
to say, you know what? I'm going to remove myself from other things and pour into my creativity. So that was my week. It was crazy. I don't even want to talk about work. But anyway, how was yours? How was yours?
Uh, I actually it was cool. It was cool. Mm. I probably spent too much time watching TV, honestly.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
because things happened that I was very curious about.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
And yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Jody said
And
yes.
he has agreed.
Mhm.
Um, but you know what? One of the fun things I do have to highlight before we just jump into the show. Do you have a PlayStation
I
or
have an
no?
Xbox.
Oh, so there's a game. There's a X. I feel like Xbox people are like drink Mountain Dew and like
Now wait a
play
damn
like
minute. I don't drink
play like
Mountain Dew.
Halo or something. I don't know. It's just like a
I
stereotype.
play all the games that y'all also play on the Xbox, on any other
Okay.
system on the Xbox. Like, it's a lot of shade happening because I
Okay.
said I got an
Okay.
Xbox. Wow, this
It's
is
like
crazy.
I I don't know. Um,
We'll get back to
but
that. We'll double click back into that later.
yeah. There's a game called Split Fiction. You have to play. It's a two-player game,
Mhm.
and you could play it online, but like it's you have to play it sitting next to somebody. Like y'all gotta,
Okay.
and it's a
Oh,
lot of collaboration, a lot of fun.
is it?
I
You say
I had
you
a
can't
fun.
play it online? It's an
You
in-person
can, you
thing.
can.
Oh, okay.
I had a fun little date night. And it allows for a lot of
Okay,
team
day night.
building. hmm
Okay.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, you if I don't know if it's on Xbox.
N-
It might not be on Xbox, but I think you and Jimmy will have a good time.
you said now how do we get here? You said I don't know if it's on Xbox. Okay, let's go back. So it's an interactive game in which you
hmm
play on a system. I thought like it
Yeah.
was just like, okay. Have you ever heard of those games called Jackbox?
Mm-mm.
You can get them on Switch, on Nintendo, and on Xbox and shit. But basically, it's like a party game, and it's kind of interactive like that. And you use your phone, and everybody participates
Mm.
and all the things. So I'm wondering, is what you call it, split foot,
Split Fiction.
split fiction? I hope
And
that what?
what makes it so interesting is that the story is like about two writers.
Okay,
Um yeah, and it's like this whole like thing happens, and so you're basically put into their stories, their
okay,
ideas.
okay,
And one is uh sci-fi writer and the other one is like a fantasy writer. So the game takes place in like these two, like you go back and forth between the the two type of worlds. So one day it's like Tron, and the other day you're like Harry Potter world.
My God. Okay.
Okay,
It's
okay,
giving
you would
it's
like it.
give
You would like it.
you okay, Imma have to get into it. Split fiction. I almost said split foot again. Split fiction.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So let's get into the show.
Yes, let's get into
And
it.
we always like to start this off with OPB, other people's
We
business.
do. We like other people's business. It works
Yes.
well for us.
So let's do a little soft one here.
Okay.
And this is about K Michelle and
Oh God.
Real Housewives of Atlanta. So on Reasonably Shady podcast, Robyn Dixon, as the people know, I guess she was like formerly on Potomac, right? I've
Mhm.
never watched Potomac, so I don't
Are
even
you
like.
serious?
I am so serious. I'm so
You have
serious.
never watched Potomac?
I just couldn't get into it, even though it's
Oh
like
my
a hometown
God.
thing. I just have never
I
watched it.
guess I could see why. Please, please. Like, if we need to have a 30-minute segment in this show each month, once a month, to make sure that you can catch up to speed, we need to do it because I cannot believe that you have not seen Potomac. Karen
Should I start on the
Huger,
first season?
yet, oh, absolute must that you need to start at the
Okay.
first because you talk, oh, oh, okay, not the camera fell. When you okay, you know what? Let me just pause for a second.
Go ahead. Pause for a second.
I was bumping my camera too hard. That's what it is. It just fell on the ground, honey.
You
I
got real
well,
animated.
I did because you need to. I cannot believe your black ass has never seen this damn show before. I should anyway. Bring my camera down because I was looking at you
Mhm.
and how the fuck did I have this shit up here before? Child ghetto. Imma get it, just give me a couple seconds, honey.
No, you all right. You know
She's
the power.
working.
It's the power of Pine Sol, baby. We can edit this out.
Not the power of Pine Sol got me hollering. Okay,
Okay.
what were
Okay.
we talking
Yes.
about?
You were
Period.
scolding me. You were scolding me
I was
about.
scolding you, yes. I was
Yeah.
scolding you because there is no reason why you, as a hometown hero of Potomac, do not have that in your watch bank already, your watch bank.
Hmm.
So I need you to go ahead and commit at least a couple hours in your week to just start catching up. Because when you talk about like delusion, when you
Hmm.
talk about crazy, like that franchise is so crazy. Giselle, for example, talking about people having homes, ma'am, you don't have a good home. Like your house was like 1,200 square foot, and you talking about Monique not having a house. Well, babe, she's got 4. So just take a look, catch up with the people, see what's happening. I promise it's worth every bit of it. I promise it's worth every bit. It really is.
I'm okay. I'm gonna try to check it out. Um,
Root
but
him on, y'all.
I'm okay. Root me on. Root me on. We're gonna do the work.
Absolutely.
Um. So Robyn said, it looks like Real Housewives of Atlanta ran out of people.
Atlanta has run out of
Okay,
people.
are we
So
rinsing and recycling?
that's what it looks like. So I'm like, out of all the people in Atlanta, now they're like, I really thought the the network or the shows tried to like avoid crossovers from
Yeah.
different networks.
And
Uh-huh.
so this little small comment basically got K Michelle active. And what she said was, why be so worried about me and my overly educated and successful self and what I might be doing? Robyn, you ran out of a job a long time ago. You would love to be recycled, you little couch potato.
I
Right?
mean, a read.
Right.
A read.
And then to add, She said, just yapping. You should have ran through that hotel lobby where your husband was, lady. Okay, okay, okay.
I read. I read.
And then there was one more piece to that. She said, leave me alone and I'll go yodel in peace. I'm around here selling out shows and you're selling baseball hats. Now, I don't know
Period.
the context of all of this.
Oh,
I don't know
you
the context of the
don't? Oh my God,
of,
because you don't watch. Oh my
yeah,
God.
I don't
Okay.
really know.
I forgot that, oh gosh, it's the stuff. Anyway, yo, I forgot that you have no context. Wow. Well, let's just say that K Michelle read her down.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
very easily, like from start all the way to the finish. Like read her down, including, okay, running through the hotel where her husband was and sprinkling on the fact that you're selling baseball caps. Okay, for context,
Yes.
Robyn, of all the housewives that they have all tried to sell stuff, Wendy had candles, Karen had candles, Giselle and Ashley, they had a fitness line, then they had a fitness regular line, and they had workout. Everybody had flailing businesses, except for really Wendy, who was the business was herself as a professor, as a commentator, all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Robyn was gonna get to selling. And Robyn started off at the beginning of the season with financial issues due to a loan or something that she got and a friend stole. Some bullshit they said. A lie. That's right, Jody. A whole lie.
A
A
full
lie.
lie.
Yeah. And so basically some shit happened and Robyn didn't have any money. And so she decided that she was going to start selling these caps. So she basically sells baseball caps with silk lining in them, and they say like Foxy on them, like, you know, like just
Okay, come on,
like,
generic
girl,
auntie hats.
very much auntie hats with the cheetah print hat and, you know, all these different hats. It's very much giving like, baby girl, go somewhere and sit down. So K Michelle, I guess that what it really is Robyn and Giselle really think that nobody like can read them.
Mm-hmm.
And the unfortunate part is that like both of y'all are the corniest ones on your show. Like the girls will go up to me for Ashley more than they would for Giselle sometimes, because not only is Giselle like a one note kind of person, she don't really like do anything outside of like being Jamal's ex-wife, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's not anything there. And then clearly Robyn is not on the show anymore, and then like she doesn't do anything but sell baseball caps. And her husband, there was this long story arc around the fact that her husband was he didn't cheat on this girl, but he met her on social media. They didn't have sex, but there was a hotel that he paid for in his name with the girl's name on it, but they didn't have sex. She just flew into town and he bought the hotel room for her, but he didn't really talk to her. She was crazy.
Sounds like the math ain't mathing, but
The math was like, the math said, let's check the board. 7 + 2 = 5. That's what the
yes.
math said.
Yes.
And she believed him. And so she stuck by her man and all the
Mm-hmm.
things.
Don't stick
And then
beside
later
him.
on, oh, you already know the dumb. And then something else happened where he like lost his job because he was apparently in some scandal that was like,
Yeah, I saw that. That was
yeah,
news.
so like that was local news. So yeah, so that was a whole nother thing too. So she ain't never had no real job, basically.
Now she ain't never had
And
no real job.
not no real one. Not no good one at that, and neither did her husband. So
I'm
that's
so weak.
why K Michelle did that, and I think it's rightfully so. So their podcast, Reasonably Shady,
Mm-hmm.
when it came about as some like another business venture, basically towards these like closer seasons to present day. But now the last season that Robyn was on, when her and Juan were actually going through some of this drama, she
Mm-hmm.
decided that she was only going to tell the story on their Patreon on Reasonably Shady, but didn't tell anybody on the
Is that why
show.
she got fired?
Yes, because she
Mm-hmm.
was like purposefully withholding information, but then putting it behind a paywall, and they wasn't having that shit. And so it came out in the reunion, like, so you were having issues in your marriage, you were thinking about all of these things, but then you said you weren't going to talk about it, but then talked about it behind a paywall. Absolutely not. The girls was eating her ass up. So Robyn and Giselle are really jokes of a lot of
Mm-hmm.
butts of a lot of jokes, and
That
then
jokes a lot about.
they are the jokes of a lot of butts, and they are the butt of a lot of jokes. But then it's like you getting, K Michelle is the wrong person to bring into Sling Mud with, because that bitch be reading. So they're not shady like they think they are. That's really what it
So,
is.
so my question is, do you think, uh, Real Housewives, do you think that's a good place for like a K Michelle? Like, I know a lot of people have all of this issue with the folks doing like these type of crossover things where
Yeah,
now you're getting a Love and Hip Hop people and whatnot to
yeah.
join the show.
Well, isn't that um where like she started, I think? But I mean, I know she's always been a musical artist, but I think she like
Mm-hmm.
blew up because of her connection to that space. So like I don't think it's bad. Like, I think reality TV, depending upon how you work it, can be okay. Like, we all know that it's produced. Most shows that are on television are heavily produced. So it's not like you don't already know that. As long as, and on Housewives, it's much different than a Love and Hip Hop. They not
Mm-hmm.
really fighting down to the Housewives. They not really like doing none of that. So, and if they are, it's not as ratchet as it would be on a Love and Hip Hop.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the most like that, and that was even Married to Medicine, so that's not even Real Housewives. So other than and Monique and Candace, that whole fight, which I don't know if you have context around that,
Yeah, I
but
saw way back
yeah, so
when.
so that's a whole thing too. So that was the most fighting. So I think it's fine. I think K Michelle needs a platform where she can also send her yodel music off. Now let me take that back, because not let me call it yodel music, because Black women be in country and it's not a
They
joke.
do,
They
especially
do,
now.
especially now. So she needs a platform to elevate her country music. And I think it's okay to do that through Real Housewives of Atlanta versus a Love and Hip Hop, because it's much
Mm-hmm.
harder to break through that audience to a white audience for them to receive it through a Love and Hip Hop platform, talking about baby mamas and baby daddies and all the other shit. And white people
And
are gonna be like, what in
Rashida
the
got
hell?
bags.
Yeah, like, what the hell? They're not gonna know what that is. And it's not to
Yeah.
like make it even a race thing. It's just a cultural thing. Like, what the fuck would they know about Love and Hip Hop outside of it being like something that they have a genuine interest in? But the conglomerate, I'm sure, does not have hell, I don't even got a damn interest in Love and Hip Hop.
Okay,
Please.
well, somebody's keeping it on the air. Mm.
Mm-mm.
And next story, I'm sure you've heard about a lot of the Young Thug phone call leaks that have been that we've been getting inundated with over the last couple of weeks, which I mean, I think is actually really ironic and funny, of how
Yeah.
bad he talked about people like Gunna, and then he is like pillow talking all through his
Yep.
time in the jails. But beyond that, like he's been saying things about his friends, like he's said Future's a bad father.
People weren't looking at Bob Marley like, ew, you got 15 kids. You got 25 kids. I think Bob Marley got like 25 kids. People weren't looking at him like he was bad, because he was like a real father. He was just like super there and just being a super that, being whatever the best he could be. So women, he wasn't like disgraceful to women. Women wanted to have his kids. Pluto is like, you pushing the P, bitches want to have your kids and shit too, but you still got to be like 100% locked in with the kids. You like 100% locked in with the bitches. That's the wrong way to go.
I mean,
Which
true.
I think we all feel like,
Correct.
we all can agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Like,
He also was talking about cheating on his girlfriend, Mariah the scientist, who'd been holding him down since he's been locked up. Even though I feel like he's only been locked up for like what, like 2 years. He was only locked up for like 2 years, if that.
girl, 2 years is too
And
much. Anyway,
I mean, for those people, and when I mean those people, I mean like he, in some of his like language, he's like he'd rather be locked up than be a rat or whatever the case is. But after all this
insanity.
happened, it is insanity. After all this happened, he dropped a 7-minute song, right? Apologizing. First off, throughout the whole week, he's been apologizing online with like letters and like with like tweets. He's been doing like emergency interviews, and then he dropped a 7-minute long song, right? My
Yeah.
thing is, there's so much I don't understand about the straights. Like, how do you have so much loyalty to your men, to these guys? You know what I'm saying?
That you're willing to put
Like
yourself in the ultimate place of like death, basically, to rot.
yeah,
Insane.
like you have more loyalty to these dudes than you do have to your girlfriend. I don't understand that. But then on the other hand, and you're talking about the gays and how, they are not welcome. Like if you find it out, like you Xing people out of your circle, but like you the relationship that you have with these men and your comments about the gays, those two things don't add up.
It just be like the comedy sometimes writes itself.
Mm,
You are so gung ho about the gays and what you don't like. And to your point, you are in a space where gay runs rampant. And we
okay.
oftentimes more than not. So like it's just really interesting. And I find all of this to be so strange. And it's well not strange. I find all of it to be so interesting because I just don't like no. I don't like absolutely not. Why would you ever want to, first of all, hold somebody in jail down for 2 years who clearly has been cheating
Okay.
on
Let's start
you?
there.
And from what I know about the two of them, I'm assuming that this is not like a thing that wasn't happening when he was on the outside. I mean, just on in jail. Like he's been cheating on her. So
Mm-hmm.
girl, keep like, I don't know. And more now, I'm fucking with you when you're right. That's it. Future, terrible father. Double click into that.
Yes. I
Absolutely.
think
Like
everybody,
you
all the comments I saw, they agreed.
banged on him real good. Like I
Okay.
thought that was excellent. But like outside of that, like that shit is weird. And now you issue an apology. Like who the fuck? First of all, who are these motherfuckers that you feel like you need to apologize to them? Stand. What she say?
Okay.
If that is stand in your truth, stand in it, in your blackness, as New York would say. So I'm just confused why you want to pussyfoot around and issue apology to niggas now. It's too late. You said what you had to say. So go ahead and move on. That part is what's weird to me. And what is even more weird to me that this is like
Mm.
real big cultural news, but I forget that this is also on the heels of this whole young thug trial thing. I guess that's been happening for
That
the last five
YSL.
ever. Yeah, I don't know shit
Mm-hmm.
about that either. So I guess because of that whole hype, that's why his like jail calls are so like prevalent and all the things. But it just all is weird to me. Like, girl, and get you a new man on that is on the outside, Mariah. Ain't you a
Okay.
scientist? Do you know how biology
Ain't she
work?
a scientist?
Like, girl, be
Ain't
smart.
she?
Wake up and stand up. Put your fucking
Baby.
molecular glasses on. Get your test tubes out and your beakers and shit, and get you a new man. Get your life. That's what the fuck you need to do. Ain't that what bio mean?
Yeah,
Biology,
okay. Baby,
girl.
that chemistry is not, it's not
Okay, it's not
connecting.
doing it. No, you need to.
It's not.
Yeah. Mariah the scientist, girl.
All right, I have like some really short ones. We're about to do like a quick fire round. I want your
Let's
thoughts
get into it.
and comments.
All right,
Okay,
let's get
Meg
into
The
it.
Stallion sent to Mariachi Band to Aiden Ross.
Period.
Uh, she's to serve him some papers. I think it's clever. I think it's funny.
Hilarious,
I'm
clever, genius.
I
Yeah,
wonder what the actual like lawsuit is about, but good for her.
I know. I think it's about like their relation to like it's not him directly. It's like their relation to spreading information around like what
Mm,
wasn't true. So she's
that Tory
racketeering
Lanez.
it. Yeah, like everybody that had a hand in running their mouth is basically she getting.
Period.
Yep. And I said, absolutely, girl. More power to you. I know that's right.
Okay, Tyler Perry and his accuser has hit the news, right?
Yep.
Hit the news
Mm-hmm.
saying that Tyler Perry touched him inappropriately. I feel like it's been buried this whole week because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
One, do you believe it?
Well, he said he got video, so I do. If a person
Does
got
he?
video, that's what Jimmy was telling me earlier. He was like, Tyler Perry's coming back to the light, and apparently the accuser has videos. I said, well, honey, it's a wrap if Madea done touched up on you, honey. It's a wrap. It's a
Okay,
fucking wrap.
Madea goes to jail. Okay,
Quite literally, honey. Like
that's crazy. I
literally,
didn't know
that
there was
is crazy.
videos. My
Well,
God.
that's
I mean,
Monica's back on his neck this week too.
When people say, Monique, when you gonna stop with Tyler and Oprah? I'm not. Just so we clear, I'm not. Because we've gotten so used to letting it go and moving on. Well, where does that come from? Let it go. That dates all the way back to slavery. Just don't say nothing. Just keep moving on. And that's why we continue to be treated the way that we get treated. So for me, my babies, I won't let go and I won't move on from that. Doesn't mean I'm bitter. I'm not angry. And I love my brother and sister or my sister and sister. Whatever day Tyler chooses, whichever way he goes, I love all of them. However, wrong is wrong and right is right. And until we start standing on what is right, we will continue to be treated wrong.
she sure is. She sure
Yep.
is. And
Uh-huh.
let me tell you, Monique has been calling Tyler Perry all types of they thems. But like
And very slick too. Very, very
She
slick.
said,
I
whatever you
watched the
want to
video
go
today.
by.
Yep, she said whatever he, she, they, whatever day it is. I said, clock the T. Clock
She
it.
said
Clock
that
it.
foot's on that neck. And here's
Yeah.
just one for the gaming girls because your bestie is into
Yep.
the
He loves
Pokemons
Pokemon.
and then so over the last couple of days they released some new mega evolutions. There's a new Pokemon game that's coming out in a couple weeks.
Period.
So
Pokemon.
this is interesting because they have announced the DLC, right?
Downloadable
And
content.
yes, but these mega evolutions are paywalled,
Oh,
right?
they said
So
$15.
they said the game is not even out yet. And mind you, the game is our,
I am
these
hollering.
games, and it's just as someone who plays games, I think for me it just bothers me that you've announced a DLC, which obviously is probably could have been included in the game. The game is probably already going to be like $70,
You
but
already
you're
know it
trying to
is.
continue. Yeah, and like you have to buy extra packages. You got to buy DLC. You got to pay.
Yep.
You got to get an online subscription to get these other pieces to the game. It's getting more and more expensive, and the bigger part of it is like these gaming companies, they release these games and they don't even be finished. They be all buggy and bugged out and they have to do
Yeah.
like patches and updates.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. Like soon these things are gonna be like $100 just for one
So would you
thing.
wait for it to come out and then just wait like a couple
Well,
months?
I'm pressed. So no.
I was about to say, I know that's not gonna be a
Like
real thing.
I'm
'Cause
like I
yeah.
can't. I
You
can't.
said bitches are not gonna be having their shit and I can't have mine. Like I
Right.
need my
Like
things.
I've made peace. I've made
Yeah.
peace. I
Yeah.
just want to express my discontent.
I just needed to get that off
But
my
I've made
chest
peace with
really
it though.
quickly. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, gaming can be, I guess, really expensive when you think about it like that, especially if you are an avid gamer and you really
Hmm.
enjoy the art of, downloadable content and mega evolutions, whatever they might be.
Yeah.
When you really get into that, I think it is it. So shout out to you, man, and shout out to you because baby, I'm not doing that.
Thank you.
Mm-mm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
You're
right, so that
welcome.
that wraps up this section of the show. If we had commercials, we'd throw them in here.
Hello. Oh, I was about to get started with the commercial. Don't get me
Look,
started. I'm ready.
go ahead, get you Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
hmm
Hello. Are you having erectile dysfunction?
I'm so weak. Okay, so and we're back, even though we didn't go anywhere. We're back with Is It Really That Deep?
We actually literally went somewhere in our minds. We went to a Viagra commercial.
Yes, we did. So I have a really great one for us. I've titled this My Man, Oh Man, I Miss Dating
My man,
Apps.
oh man. I miss dating
Mm.
apps. Okay.
So to set the scene, these two guys, they're in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. And one of them essentially put the dating apps down because they're in a relationship.
Right.
So, because he got into this new relationship. So one
Okay.
day he is laying down on his bed. He saw this meme, this like Squidward meme from SpongeBob. And it had like SpongeBob, not SpongeBob, Squidward listening to music, and there was like a grinder logo on his phone, right? And it was captioned Gays in the Midst of Another Existential Crisis. So he read that caption and just started to reminisce a little bit.
Okay.
And he said, shockingly, in his thoughts, right? He's like, shockingly, it turned out having an app on your phone of like-minded individuals who compliment you, want to have sex with you is quite a thrill, right? And he's just like, he used to be on Tinder, Sniffies, Jack, just like all around. And
Okay.
he just really, really missed that connection that he used to have with all these people. So the question is it really that deep that he still wants to be on these apps because of this connection and amount of time he spent on them and the friendships he made? Because for the community, you can, have partners, or you can,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
have like
Yep.
really
Yep.
build friendships from talking to
Absolutely.
people.
Yes.
Yeah, so do you think it's really that deep to still want to be on those apps even though you're in a relationship now?
Yeah, no. I think that they're depending upon the style of relationship because,
Mhm.
people are diverse. I think that
Mhm.
there's an option for that to be a thing if the two people in the situation consent to that.
Mhm.
What is more interesting to me is the response of I need to be on this apps and I miss these apps for the attention of other people that want to have sex with me and give me attention. That little piece right there is where it's like, oh no, it is really that deep for me because you're insane.
Mm.
Because if you're in a relationship with me, one, and we haven't openly discussed why the feeling of needing to have conversation or connection with people who want to potentially have sex with you is insane when the purpose of our relationship is to build that same connection. It would be impossible for us to do that without that
Mhm.
consent, right? So it to me is kind of weird that that is the reason why you like, oh, I want to reminisce because I miss a nigga telling me my ass is fat and or I got a big dick or whatever, like on the internet. Like, that's weird. That is like really fucking weird. I think there is also still validity in
Mhm.
needing to have some sort of like validation for oneself to say, maybe I am not as, um, uh, maybe like ugly as my mind thinks. I'm not as
Mhm.
attractive as my mind thinks. So I'm going to put myself out there to get the attention of someone to help me see that there are people who are attracted to me. That's very different from saying, I'm going to get out here because I want people to want to have sex with me and tell me that I'm attractive just
Yeah.
because. When someone is actively telling you that, that shit is weird. That shit is really weird. So yeah,
Were
no.
you were you on the apps before
I've
you
no. And when I started
Oh, good.
when I started dating Jimmy, the apps were a thing kind of, but like they were still fairly like getting themselves together. So I've
Mhm.
never really I've been on some apps, but those apps I've never been
Wha
on.
like, Craigslist?
No, I have been on apps that explore more of a non-traditional type of relationship. How about that? To
Okay,
keep it PG.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the ones for, like, 3s
There we
and
go. I
4s.
and
Yeah,
4s.
yeah.
Yes, I've been in
Mhm,
those types of apps, but just like those regular single ones, it doesn't necessarily work in the dynamic that I'm in. So like,
mhm.
and only because oftentimes people on those apps are operating from a romantical system that does not necessarily honor the sanctity all the time that we have created in
Yeah.
our relationship. So either one of us could end up beating a bitch up, and we don't want to have that. So we
What?
have to,
That's good. That's
so
funny.
we don't want to have to do that. So
Mhm.
we curate where we are. Now, what say you?
Well, I don't really
Uh-huh.
use the apps or haven't really used the apps because I am, stranger danger is just like, ooh,
Yeah,
child.
I don't know
I'm
you very
like,
well.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I, and then people are catfishing or you don't know, somebody could like, bring a knife or a gun or something to your
Oh my
home or like
God,
just
honey.
straight up like rob you or something. I don't know. Maybe this
Yeah.
is my mind
Yeah.
just going wild,
No,
okay?
no, no. I
Just going
understand.
just
I
going
understand.
crazy. So, I don't really have an attachment to those type of things. So, but if I was dating someone wanted to who felt the need
Uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
like, check in on those apps and like
Yeah.
do that thing, I think I'd be very uncomfortable with that
Absolutely. Absolutely.
because I think like what's going on with where are your other friends? Not the friends that you hooked up with on there. Like what are we missing here?
Uh-huh.
Where are we not connecting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um that you need that type of rush. And it's not like you buying weed off of how the people do. They be on Jack, they be trying to buy weed or something.
Do
I'm
they?
like, they do. They do. They do. They're like, oh, we're out of town. Let me go on this app. This is where you can find a little piece of dealer. I even then, I'm like, same, I roll, but this goes with the people's fantasy.
Okay,
The drug
uh-huh.
dealer.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
The drug
The
dealer.
dealer and the dick dealer. Okay, I got it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Whatever. But no, I don't know if I can do it. Like, especially someone who at some point you gotta take the I would be like, "Hey, please take those apps off your phone."
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like cuz what
Mm,
do you like what are you checking up on? Like you said, like do you not have friends that feel that need? Like I know that I'm not going to be the person that you go to all the time even though we are in this
yeah.
relationship. Don't you got a cousin? Like something, a play
Something
cousin?
else.
I'm confused why you got to go get comfort from random strangers that are not just simply here to encourage you. You want to get plowed by these strangers. Like that is the part for me that is like really strange. So I would be highly uncomfortable. So it's deep enough for me to be like, maybe we should just close
Slow
this on
slow
up.
down.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And the apps for me, that just seems a bit dangerous to your point. Wendy Williams made a really good point. She said the killer is always near. And I think to your point, when you start mixing and matching these apps and stuff and the
Mm,
kinks and the quirks start coming in, it can get real scary out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
And so yeah, no, I don't if I were single, I would imagine that it would be real hard for a nigga to get to me that don't already like know me because
Yeah.
I didn't meet in person, and still let's meet out in public a few different times. You will not be coming to my home. Like I just until I could suss it out to make sure that you're not as crazy as I think you would be. But still, I just thank God, because can you imagine going on the first date and a nigga taking you into his home and locking you up, Keisha?
Hello, this
Oh my
is
gosh.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oof.
Oh, Lord.
My God. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It
So it
is
is that
crazy.
deep. It is that
It
deep.
is.
Run, girl, run.
This is not for you.
No, it's
Um,
not.
okay. Well, we have come to the meat and potatoes of our episode,
Here we are.
and I just want to frame this
Yeah.
as violence in America. And the funny thing is, like, I'm framing it this way because, these days I thought we had like a First Amendment, so apparently we don't. It doesn't apply to anyone who does not wear a red cap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to be mindful. They're building out list of people. They're
Which is
building out
crazy.
databases
A whole
of
lawsuit.
people to
The
come
way I would
after.
sue the dog shit out of them people stalking me that hard, finding my employer and calling and doing stuff like that, and starting a database where I work.
For your
That
and
is
it's crazy
illegal.
for your opinion, your thought, and your whatever you have to
Baby.
say. It's
To
about
the courts we
someone. It's
go. To the
okay,
courts we
right?
go.
Because
Like,
I
I'm
don't I don't
sorry.
know I don't know what the rules are here, but
Yeah.
this particular person who lost their life alongside some high school kids
Yep.
who did lose their lives. It was nearly simultaneously. It was same day,
Yep.
but it was like
Yep.
things got overshadowed. But this one influencer and
Yep.
podcaster and whatever, these people are treating this person like they were some type of saint, political, like they were like the president of a country of some sort. they
Which is
they
weird.
were just right. It was just a
Mm.
person, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say this piece, and then I'll turn it over to you. And I
Okay.
had to write it down a little bit,
Yeah, no, I get it. I
uh
get it.
because I had to get a lot of these thoughts out here. So I need to scoot up a little closer because
Yeah. So let
the
me get
girls don't have the
into it.
glasses on. So here's my thought, right? So America has always been an inherently violent country, just from the inception.
Yep.
How we got here. One, whether it was from the breakaway from the British or the Civil War and all of civil rights, all that.
Mm-hmm.
We fast forward to today. We've seen so many like school shootings, and then we've seen Charlottesville, right? We've seen January
Mm-hmm.
6th. We've seen like Nancy Pelosi's husband get attacked. We've seen Pulse nightclub. There's so many of these things going on. And then as of recent, right? There was
Mm-hmm.
a whole stabbing in Carolina, in
Crazy
Charlotte,
as hell. Yep. Killed the girl at the damn light rail,
right? Just
honey.
just just brutal. So and this is to say that like the violence that happens, it's indiscriminate, right? Even
Yeah.
just like the pushing the ideas, because yes, on one end, you remember a couple years ago, Kathy Griffin got canceled
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
she
For
did
holding up
like
the
that
king.
that yeah. So like it goes both ways, and then the people who are outraged about that, these are the same people who had outrage about Obama, and
Mm-hmm.
would do all these like very violent. They would put up violent and racist pictures, wishing bad things on him.
Yep.
I just saw a clip today of Megyn Kelly saying, "You know what? All of this is Obama's fault." They said he was so divisive, and that's how we got here today, right? And so I feel like there's a point we have to ask ourselves, right? Like, what's behind all of this? Like, what is the core? What is the seeding of this? The people want to say, just try to push the rhetoric down. But the folks in the White House, look, they're trying to have a whole UFC fight in the middle of the White House lawn next year, right? So it's all of it's just like so counter. It's so counter to anything that they're saying. And it's exhausting how there's not enough energy going to address why we are so violent, right?
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
have the mental health resources. We have too many guns. The way people are speaking about one another it's just so like toxic and partisan. And I think the thing that really bothers me is that the first question that something tragic happens, the first question is like, who did these people vote for? Right? Or it's like the first words,
Mm-hmm.
it's radical left. You don't even
Yep.
know what the story ain't even finished breaking yet. Like you don't
Yep.
even know who these people are. It's just like there's always a blame on the other political party. And the issue here is that we only have two. We have two. If we had more, it would be like a different thing. We only have
Yeah.
two. So it's
Mm.
divisive in its nature, just in general. The way
Yeah.
our politics are already just like built out, and it's like nothing is logical anymore. Nothing is fact based. We're stuck in this cycle, and I just it really pains me because it seems like there's really just like no way out. And, the events of this week, I don't want to see anyone blown away on my timeline. I
Yeah.
don't want to see
Yeah.
nobody stabbed. I don't want to see none of it.
Yeah.
But it's gotten
Yeah.
so commonplace that I think we're becoming just so numb to it that people are just like, I'm gonna just share it just for the
Yeah.
clicks and like these things. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to see that.
No, absolutely not.
And and so and then
You
like
should
all
not.
and then yeah, right. Like we're getting so desensitized to all these things. And then now, as I said earlier, now people are getting punished because we don't share the same opinion about a man that some of us, I'm talking about us black folk who have
Mm-hmm.
no affiliation with,
Know
where
who
it's
he is.
trickling down. HBCUs over the last couple of days have gotten all these racist bomb threats and all these things all the way across the country. Ain't got nothing to do with anything. We got nothing to do with nobody.
Mm-mm.
And they expect us to just bow down and just go with it. It's frustrating. It's disheartening. I don't even know where do we go from here? Like we're just like you can lose your job now just by saying that you just don't agree with racist things that are being spewed against you in your community. Like,
Yeah.
is that not insane?
Yeah, and I think this is a really interesting. I didn't think about this either, but like the narrative in the media around the possibility of you losing your job is
Mm-hmm.
really to a subset population. Because I
Mm,
mean, black folks are not mass losing their jobs because they said something about that white man. Like, I mean, if they are, I'm not saying that it's not happening and it couldn't happen, but I think in like mass, it's not really happening because one, who is he to mass black folks? Like they don't even know who
yeah.
he is. One, and then when most of them find out who he is, they then feel very dumb that they were here. They go talking about some pray. We're praying for a man that called me stupid and called anything related to me stupid or unintelligent
Mm-hmm.
or ill-equipped. So it is just a very like interesting thing, but then like the scare tactic of it all from the media standpoint is if you say anything now, so if this is the thing that could send you
Yeah.
over, what else can I not say now? So everything that I might want to expound upon that may be counter to big government could be scary. So then there's that mix in there. Then there's also the element of folks who struggle to separate politics political analysts, political
Mhm.
commentators from pundits. And those
Mhm.
are two separate things. That white man was a pundit. He was not a political
Mhm.
analyst. He has no real understanding of how government works. Clearly, the people who are running the government have no real understanding of how government works. Clearly. And so it's like when you start to mix these things in, it creates and continues to build into, well, what was his political affiliation? You know, why is it always got to be divisive? That feeds right into it, but it's because
Yep.
it's the anti-intellectual elements of these things that allows the narrative to be shifted and molded into something different, because it's okay now for you to get in trouble for having a thought that is actually fact-based and grounded in research, because it's counter and it's woke left. And you see how we
Mhm.
automatically pigeonhole back to that. So I think it's a little bit of that that has continued to go. And so if you can make the people dumb, and then use big government as the way to say, you know, these people want this for you and these people don't want this for you, or these people attack you and these people don't. I think that is like, it's all of those things mixed up. And then I think you, on top of it, is race. We are never
Okay.
gonna get past race until people can openly have an honest conversation about the fact that whether you like it or not, at some point you have the majority, is what I'm talking about. You have aided in something racist, whether that be the way in which you know, have access to housing and your friends don't, or whatever. The ability for you to be chosen for a job despite your name, even if it is not intentionally done by you, at some rate, because of the system in which we operate in, you just
Mhm.
contribute to it. So it's your opportunity. It's your responsibility as a good human to say, you know what, actually, I'm going to try to fight against some of these things. So I'm going to bring people in. I'm going to meet with these people. I'm going to talk to these people. I'm going to give to this. And some people do that. And I'm not saying that this is blanketed for everybody, but I think until we can have a conversation around race and have it comfortably, we're not going to be able to do it. Now,
Mm.
let me say this, because I know this is where we're going
Yes.
next. The events of this week, I think, are very interesting. One, I want the Christian girls, take your Bibles and go somewhere and sit down with them. Like, don't nobody else care that much that the Bible says what you shouldn't be doing. You live in a world where everyone does not believe in your Christian ass. And just because you had X, you know, this happened and this is what you believe, there are people on this planet that have um religions that go well beyond the founding of Abrahamic religions. So it is mind-boggling to me that people who are so smart and the toughest and the most dominant people on the planet in America don't understand that you are but a small microcosm in the planet Earth that all these damn people have that exist on. So that shit is weird for me. Then here go race jumping right back into it. The selective outrage that happens during these times is crazy. Selective
Mhm.
outrage. Let me read you the definition, okay? Because I want to make sure we're talking about showing outrage over specific incidents, or events that align with one's preconceived beliefs or ideologies, while disregarding similar incidents that contradict those beliefs. Here we are,
Mhm.
okay? There have been
Mhm.
thousands of deaths, and to your point, America is inherently violent. We have been violent the entire time. We sing the bombs bursting in the air and stand up with our hand over our chest to talk about the war in which we had to fight armed, honey, inherently violent. Okay? And the reason why we had these fights is because it was fights over land, over actual human bodies. And we felt so called to enslave those people. And should they, right, decide that they don't want to be enslaved anymore, we could kill them. so inherently
Mm.
violent. So these things are not new, and history repeats itself. And I think that's all that is just happening. Opinions and the ability to have free thought, like the civil rights movement, like other movements before it, women's rights, all of those things, those things are coming right back around to the forefront. And here we are having the same conversations that we were having 60, 70, 80 years ago. But what I think is more jarring is that the fact that people, when it comes to the murder that happened well, one, to the individual that I'm not going to say his name, I
Yeah.
think that part is crazy to me. And I've said publicly, I'm never going to champion anyone who, whether they are alive or dead, I'm never going to champion anyone who has already seen me and my skin color as the sole determinant of intelligence, as the sole determinant of what I have access to. So whether they are here or alive, I could care less. I don't necessarily have to praise death and the innocent and the disgusting public death of folks, but I also don't have to mourn or feel like I need to publicly mourn or feel forced to, and I never will. So I think there is a defense, and I have the autonomy to say that. And I think there's the difference between like getting on a public square and like celebrating the death of a specific person. I think there's plenty of room for you to be like, you know what? It's unfortunate the events that happen because we don't want anybody to just have the room to be killed in a public setting while they're having lunch. And when you sow seeds and you have discourse around these things, these are the types of repercussions that come up because of the rhetoric in which you created and you house. The immediate response to his death from that part, that group that he's a part of, was like, they don't know what they've just unleashed. What kind of rhetoric is that? Inherently violent. So it is per the nature of not just them, of all people, of all of us, because that's what that's what you think about. We're gonna rail back on these people. We're gonna push them. We have to fight. We have to do that. Has always been the rhetoric in politics and around the world. So well, around the country, about how we need to fight back against, and we need to rally in, and we need to stand firm. Well, what do you think people are doing now, honey? Standing firm with their own guns that you created, that are a billion-dollar industry. So like all of these things are self-induced, and I think where we go from here, I think, is into a period where it becomes more divisive.
Yeah.
I think it's not until there becomes a head that bursts, like it's like a pimple. There's no other option for it to get but more divisive, because there's not enough people who are able to see past the veil of Christianity, past the veil of these other like fantasies that people live in. If we can't get past those, we won't be able to see that like this rhetoric is not just hurting one party over the other, it's hurting everybody. All parties are involved in this. It's not just a woman thing, it's a woman and a man thing. It's not just a woman versus a trans woman thing, it's a everybody thing. And capitalism, I read an article, I didn't read it, but I read the title of it, that people are starting to not love capitalism the way that they once were. And it's like, yeah, because the shit is not sustainable over a long period of time when people and things change. And you yelling about socialism and all this shit happening, you might want to give it a look to make sure that your ass can survive. And it might be the next wave. I think that capitalism and the way that America, this two-party system shit, I think it's never going to be the same again. I think the Constitution, the way that it's written, is never going to apply and be applicable to certain aspects of our lives anymore. Like it is just so confuzzled around here. And people are, like I said before, it's the anti-intellectual movement. So it's about seeing a piece of legislature and dumbing it down on purpose so that nobody knows what to do. So I think eventually the process by which we understand and are safeguarded with some things will be washed away because we'll be too dumb to really understand it. And so they'll be able to swipe it away, and then we'll just be fucked. Scary, but truth.
Terrible. Well, I'm gonna close out here with some of my friends sent over this video. It was a video of a pastor at Alfred Street.
Yes, Alfred Street Baptist.
Yes, Alfred Street.
Oh yes. The fine pastor.
The pastor
is fine.
just gave a quote he just gave a quote. And the quote that I just want to leave with is he said, "How you die does not redeem how you lived." And that's all I have for this episode.
Period.
Remember
you
to
know
follow
that?
us on all platforms.
Yes,
All
yes.
platforms, all
All
platforms.
platforms, every
Sus
last one
the
of the
pod.
platforms. Sus the pod. That's crazy. That's an excellent quote. That's a hardworking man over there down at Alfred Street Baptist. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
He collects one of
Yeah.
the most. He raises the most money out of all black churches for HBCUs in the country. I said, eat it up down at Alfred Street Baptist. I know that's right. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do it. Okay, you want to help and give back to the
Amen.
community. That's how you do it. Period. All right.
Amen.
Thank you for
All
coming to our
right.
TED Talk.
Yes. This is
Our sus
excellent.
talk. Oh my God. Should we just start having sus talks?
This is a sus talk.
This is the sus talk. Well, look at that. Okay,
All
girlies.
right. Let's go
This
eat.
was so fun. I am hungry.
All right. Well, we'll
All
talk to
right.
y'all later.
Bye.